Joining me is Dr. Nasser Kanaani, the spokesperson of the Iranian Foreign Ministry. Dr. Kanaani, welcome to First Post.
Good afternoon. I'm happy to be talking to you. I'm also delighted that through medium, I'm speaking to the viewers in the great and friendly country of India. I hope that our talk is constructive.
Thank you. We hope so too. Let me start with what's been making news. Iran has been pushing to sell oil to India, and they're offering to trade in the rupee real mechanism, bypassing the dollar. What has been the response from New Delhi so far? Have you got an assurance from India? Is India keen to buy oil from Iran as part of this rupee real mechanism?
So the economic and commercial cooperation between Iran and India is highly important, and this cooperation is a two-way mechanism. So we are cooperating with India in different domains. If the bilateral relationship is based on mutual interest, it will remain long-standing and stable. So our bilateral relation with India could expand in all areas, including in the energy sector. As you're aware, the pressures and threats of the United States imposed the government and the nation of Iran has caused obstacles and impediments in the way of the expansion of Iran's cooperation, economic and normal cooperation with its partners. So unfortunately, the United States has weaponized dollar in order to impose pressure upon countries and to bring into control their relations with other countries. So under these circumstances, many countries are keen to expand other mechanisms, such as benefiting from the national or local currencies in the way of expansion of their trade, or to make use of barter trade. So the cooperation between India and Iran also falls under this category. So in order to develop our trade relations in different countries under these circumstances, we have no way out but to benefit from these solutions and initiatives. Iran, of course, will not divulge its initiatives, solutions in order to expand the trade and economic cooperation with its partners in different areas, including in the energy domain. And India is one of the Iran's partners in the area of energy and petroleum. This cooperation could be extended in line with the mutual interests of the two nations, and of course benefiting from local currencies of the two countries. That is, rupee real mechanism can be one of the ways to expand our mutual cooperation with India. Of course, our dialogue with our Indian partners in different areas, including in the area of our cooperation on petroleum, is continuing, and we will continue on the same path. So taking into consideration the pressure of the US and the illegal methods used by the US in order to limit and constrain Iran's trade with other countries, it is not of use to divulge the details of our negotiation discussions with our partners.
That sounds like a diplomatic no to me. There have been reports about routing Russian trade through the Chabahar port. What's the progress on that front?
So our economic, commercial, and transit cooperation between Iran and Russia is on an expansive path. So the two countries, they are joining their forces and cooperation in order to further strengthen the international north-south transit corridor in order to make it one of the most important transit routes and commercial routes in the region. So recently, in a virtual event between the Russian president and the president of the Islamic Republic of Iran, we were witness to the conclusion and inking of a document that will provide the grounds for the Russians to complete one remaining railway connection in the transit route of the international North-South corridor that is about 120 kilometers, and this will help the completion of the INSTC. So, of course, an important connection point to the railways and also to the sea routes is the port of Chabahar. So, as you know, the port of Chabahar, we are in cooperation with the Indian side in order to implement projects in the development of the port of Chabahar and to expand its potentials. So, of course, the completion of that railroad that I mentioned, that amounts to 120 kilometers from the city of Astara to the city of Rash in Iran. And also, on the other hand, the completion of the project of Chabahar, as a result of the efforts of the Indian side, will make the INSTC a transit corridor one of the most important corridors in our region. And in the past 2 days, we also had very good negotiations and talks between the ministers of transportation of Iran and Azerbaijan in the border city of Astara with regard to our expansion of our transit cooperation. So we are witnessing a good determination on the part of the countries in our region, Iran, Russia, Azerbaijan, as I mentioned, in order to complete INSTC and to convert it into one of the most important trade corridors in our region. And Chabahar port is a central point in order to give momentum to the international and regional trade. So the role of India in order to further activate and operationalize this route is very important. So the foreign ministers of India and Iran, on the sidelines of the BRICS event in Cape Town, they held very constructive and positive talks in order for both sides to expand the cooperation in Chabahar and to expedite the implementation of the project of Chabahar. So this is a very important corridor in order to strengthen the economy and the linkages between the economies of the countries in the region. Also, it has the potential to connect and link the economies of the countries of the region to the economies at the international level. So we have no doubt that INSTC, both in terms of shortening the distance of transit of goods and also to reducing the cost of the transportation of the goods, it can give a jump to the trade at the both regional and international level.
Iran has joined the Shanghai Cooperation Organization, or the SCO, recently. What are your expectations from this group, and do you think it can become a major player in West Asia with your entry?
So the membership of Iran in the SCO is a very important development. So Iran, throughout its long history, has always remained one of the important countries in the West Asia region or in the Middle East, and also one of the important countries in the Islamic world. And taking into account the potentials and the characteristics of Iran in terms of its geopolitics and in terms of its geoeconomic characteristics, and also the scale and the powers of the economy of Iran, Iran has been benefiting from great potentials as a great player in the regional and international level. And of course, the full membership of Iran has further added to the potential and strengths of Iran. And on the other hand, with Iran becoming a full member of the SCO, the weight and the status of the SCO at the regional and the international level has also increased. So in such a way that some of the analysts, they have referred to Iran's full membership in the SCO as a turning point that increases and boosts the status and position of the SCO both at the regional and international level.
با توجه به علاقه‌مندی
And taking into account that many of the Persian Gulf littoral states, they have expressed their interest in order to cooperate with the SCO as a dialogue partner, as a partner. Iran can play a connecting point, an intermediary between the SCO and these countries in the Persian Gulf region in order to expand the level of the cooperation of the SCO in the regional level.
سازمان شانگهای با کشورهای حوزه به این ترتیب سازمان شانگهای
Therefore, the SCO can provide good grounds for the expansion of the cooperation in the countries in the Eurasia, Persian Gulf, and West Asia.
غرب آسیا باشه. می توانیم بگوییم که عضویت جدید
So we can say that Iran, becoming a new member of the SCO, has provided a new opportunity for Iran, also for the members of the SCO and the other countries in the West Asia.
به حوزه خلیج فارس است. این یک بستر
So this is a good ground for a successful and effective multilateral cooperation.
In the month of May, India's National Security Advisor Ajit Doval visited Iran, and he said that relations between the two countries are moving to a new level. How would you describe them? Where do you think New Delhi-Tehran relations stand right now, and where are they heading?
So the relations between the two countries is a two-way system.
مسیر
So the future path of the relations between the two countries is dependent on the joint political will of the two countries. So I would like to stress that taking into account the relations between Iran and India, there is a wide gap between the existing potentials in the expansion of the two country bilateral relations and what has actually come into fruition with regard to our bilateral cooperation.
این فاصله زیاد
So this wide gap as a result of mutual cooperation can be narrowed down.
کوتاه کم بشود. در شرایط
So taking into account the current regional and international circumstances, we could work together in order to bring about positive results.
کشور رقم بزنیم. ما در زمینه
So taking into account our bilateral relations with India and helping to expand the presence of India in West Asia and in the strategic region of the Persian Gulf, Iran does not see any limitations or restrictions.
مشکلی رو نمی‌بینیم. معتقدیم این
So we believe that it is India that should act more seriously and robust.
منافع
So the interests of India in this region is not less than the interests of many other countries.
ها نیست.
And this is dependent on the political will of the leaders of India.
ما اعتقاد داریم
So we believe that Iran's partnership with India, both taking into account bilateral relation and also cooperation within the SCO, can ensure the mutual interests of the two countries.
دو ملت خواهند.
So the joint membership of the two countries in the SCO has provided new grounds for cooperation, and the SCO can serve as a platform in order to expand our bilateral relations in different domains, security, economy and trade, and political areas. So also, when BRICS, we can also are faced with new opportunities for cooperation. So Iran is becoming a member of the group of BRICS countries. And the foreign ministers of the two countries on the sidelines of the BRICS event in Cape Town, they discussed together in this respect.
رئیس
And the president of the Islamic Republic of Iran, in order to participate in the next BRICS heads of the state meeting, has been invited.
بنابراین
Therefore, there are multiple grounds and potentials for fostering our mutual cooperation. So we believe that the government of India should not allow the restrictions that has been caused by the government of the United States leave an impact on the expansion of our bilateral relations.
بازگشت
So the restoration of political ties between Iran and Saudi Arabia as a result of the intermediation of some friendly countries proved that we can just move ahead with no consideration for the external pressure by the United States in line with satisfying our mutual interests.
بزرگی برداشت.
So the Islamic Republic of Iran considers no limitation with regard to expansion of its relation with India.
Which brings me to Iran's relationship with the US and the status of the nuclear deal. It has been described in various ways. Some have called it dead, others say it's on life support. How would you describe it, and do you think this deal can still be revived?
So the Islamic Republic of Iran is committed to the path of diplomacy and dialogue. So the Islamic Republic of Iran has so far been committed to the framework of the nuclear agreement known as the JCPOA. It was the government of the US that unilaterally withdrew from the agreement, and it didn't show any signs of commitment to carrying out of its commitments with regard to the JCPOA. So we do not consider the path to revive the JCPOA as a deadlock, as a dead end alley. So the dialogues are still continued through the intermediation of third parties. And we still believe that the JCPOA as a multilateral agreement could be revived and restored. But the agreement is a two-way system. As we pointed out, the dialogue is going on through the intermediaries, and there is the possibility for revival of the agreement. And we should wait and see if there is the political will on the part of the US to revive the agreement and to be loyal to its commitments under the JCPOA. So the JCPOA was a successful example of how multilateralism works in order to settle an international dispute. So we should see if the government of US is ready to restore or revive this path or not. But Iran is committed and will remain committed to the path of diplomacy.
Dr. Kanaani, thank you very much for speaking with us.